Hello and welcome to StreamSmart. By now you've unpacked your StreamSmart unit, plugged in all the cords and cables, and should be looking at what's known as the welcome screen here. This is going to be a quick tutorial to walk you through the process of getting your StreamSmart device connected to the internet, as well as doing a quick speed test. Follow along as you can. If you need to pause the video, please feel free. So what we're going to do is here, we're on the welcome screen right now. We're just going to hit next. And then it's going to bring you to the language screen. The default is English. We're just going to go ahead and hit next again. On this screen, we're going to resize the actual size of the screen. And as you can see here, you just want to try to get it as close as possible to the outside borders of your screen without going too far. This becomes very relevant when you get to the Kodi screen because there will be a news feed that scrolls on the bottom. If you can't see the news feed, then you're going to have to come back into this screen and reduce the size of the output screen that you're using, okay? Every TV is different. So for instance, this TV is 97%. The TV in my living room, that one's 89%. Everybody's will be different. Just choose the one that's best for you. And go ahead and hit next. On this screen, this is going to be how we connect to the network. Now, right now, we're connected to Ethernet. If you have the option to connect to Ethernet, go ahead and use it. It's going to be the fastest, most stable connection you can manage. If you can't, then we're going to go ahead and click over to Wi-Fi here and refresh all of our Wi-Fi access points, and we're going to connect to one of the signals that's available. Now, with the routers that are made nowadays, they have two signals mostly, which is going to be the 5G signal and then the 2.4 gigahertz signal. 2.4 gigahertz is really good for going a long distance, or if it has to penetrate through walls that have like electrical or plumbing in them. In my bedroom, I use 2.4, but here in the office, I use the 5 gigahertz one. So that's the one we're going to connect to. Another thing is this: when you go in to put in the password on these Wi-Fi access points, these different wireless access points could shift position, where perhaps CK Wireless goes down to number 2 and Netgear 98 goes up to number 1. If that happens, just click back and reselect your particular wireless access point. So in our case, we're going to use Netgear 98 5G. Go ahead and hit OK, and then it's going to bring up the input password block. Go ahead and hit the OK button a second time, and that should bring up the virtual keyboard. And what I'm going to do is pause the video right now and input my password. So just, okay, and welcome back. Basically what I've done is I've gone ahead and input my password. Obviously for privacy reasons, I'm not going to like type it in while you guys are watching. When you're done putting in your password, go ahead and hit done. And then go ahead and, as you can see here, look what's happened. See how Netgear used to be the number 2 thing and now Netgear is the number 1 thing? I have to actually go back into this now and reselect Netgear and re-input the... Okay, welcome back. I've gone ahead and re-input that password. Now you'll see this box that says show password. You always want to click this box to make sure that your password that you typed in is correct. If you use uppercase in your password, then you want to use uppercase here. If you use special symbols like a hashtag or an asterisk or something, you want to use all that stuff. This is the best way to see that you've input this correctly, okay? I already checked mine, so I'm just going to go down here and hit connect now. Now what this will do is the Wi-Fi itself will connect to the system, and the wireless access point name will be there, as well as the IP address. So it should just be a couple. Okay, and here we go. As you can see here, we have the access point name as well as the IP address. You're just going to go ahead and click finish, and then what that will do is bring you out to the Android home screen. From here, you're just going to run a quick speed test. Go ahead and click the purple icon right here, and then that's going to bring up the speed test. Now you're going to have to hit the cursor button. It's in the lower left of the directional pad. Just go ahead and hit that. Click OK, and then click Begin Test. When that's done, just hit the cursor button again. You won't need it. And you're just going to go ahead and run your speed test. Now, I'm really far away from the router where I'm at right now. So it's probably, this is a good example of when to use the 2.4 gigahertz um, versus the 5G. In my case, what I do in this particular room is I hardwire in with the Ethernet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead back to that setup screen and I'm going to turn on my Ethernet connection. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back to this and I'm going to go ahead and restart this test. And you'll see a big difference. Now I pay for 100 megabit internet. And I'm getting 93 through a wired connection here. It's going to be different for you. You could pay for 100 and you could get 116. You could pay for 100 and get 50. Really, you want to have 15 or so megabits per second going to the box, and you'll have a great experience. I can stream with this box off of the previous download speed with no problem, but it's going to obviously, there's going to be a difference in your experience. So just in keeping that in mind, you typically more is going to be better on the download speed. We don't care about the upload speed, and that's essentially how to connect your box to the internet and run a speed test. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything, go ahead and follow us on Facebook, and you can become part of our support group by going to Facebook and searching StreamSmart Support, 2 words, and we'll go ahead and get you added, and any support requests you have will be answered by me, Spencer, or one of our wonderful admins that we have on there. So again, thank you from StreamSmart, and watch the other videos in the series, become an expert on how to use this box.